Hello there, everyone. Let's review the Realm of Imladris campaign here on this the Third Age Divide and Conquer 1.2. Now, as I start the campaign, I'm going to already tell you that it's a very long campaign. I mean, you have great bodyguards. You're going to see it's about one of the best bodyguard units. The best for me are always the ones that will have a use, that I'll have a use for them no matter what the circumstances. As in, the infantry is the worst for me because you basically will have to risk them having some casualties, and the archer is quite one of the best, as well as the cavalry, kind of tied in. And these guys, they have the archer one, so I'm going to show you afterwards. But for now, let's still review. So your enemies are quite nearby. I mean, you have to hold 20 regions, which includes destroying the Shadow of Mordor, Isengard, and the Orcs of Misty Mountains. And you started war with the remnants of Angmar as well, and you'll probably have to go to war with them. So that means 4 factions that you have to take on, and you start basically bordering both of them. So, and then if you want to take Isengard, you probably have to take Dunland as well. So, it's not going to be an easy campaign, and it's going to be a very lengthy campaign, especially because you have to defeat Mordor. It would already be lengthy if you only had to take Isengard and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. So by forcing you to go against Mordor, it's like, come on, it's never ending. Trust me. It's going to take quite a while. If you go this route, or you're going to have to face Isengard. If you go this route, you're going to have to face Dol Guldur. You pretty much have to face every single evil faction at one point, because when facing Mordor, you're going to have to withhold Harad and Rune. So it's kind of interesting on that side. You'll have to face a lot of different types of forces as well. So what is the situation here? You do have a fort, which is perfect, to get a couple of free upkeep, but you won't be able to deal with just the upkeep like this. I mean, you're already earning just a little bit of money. 600 is not a lot, and you'll need to get out of this early. I mean, I can build this to get, an additional unit in upkeep, and I can build the Dunedain outpost. By the way, this is one of their perks. But it will take some time, and honestly, you would want to get these mines as fast as possible, just to get that upkeep, that income there. So, all that said, they can rush. I mean, they can rush Orcs and Misty Mountains. They're right here. Their capital. You can rush the capital very easily. There is a fort there. I'm going to show you.
Sire, like the wind.
Let me see. If I'm not mistaken, this watchtower checks it. This is very important. I would always go over here because on my previous intake I went to DaC Kala here, and I don't believe that's the best option. The best option is to let them move out of there. Just get these units out of here. Try to get them to the fort and the free upkeep, and try to see if you can attack Goblin Town really fast without having any problems. In the meantime, take the city that is over here because it has mines. So do mind that, everything that has mines, like Zakala, is going to be really important. And then you have 2 easy peaks on this city, and on this city, there's a city here. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you there. Yeah, there we go. You have these very easy picks, but they don't have mines. So that's the situation here. Concentrate on taking the places that have the mines, not the places that seem, well fitted for you. That would be my take. Now, you can make those good early attacks on the Orcs and Misty Mountains. It's your choice, either Goblin Town immediately, or just postpone it. I mean, get some units here. If they try to attack, you defend. You're in a good position. Take that village over there. It's kind of your decision. Then you can take these villages, Anuna Rod, and this one here. I'm going to show you there. So you can take Austin Edil. These are like 3 bandits there, so even just this swordsman, I believe, would take it. So it's pretty easy. Then you have some castles here. So you have early picks, but you have to choose right on from the beginning. You can make peace. Do note that. I mean, we don't have an agent, but I can recruit both, diplomat and the spy. That will be important. And then send a diplomat to the Orcs of Angmar, for instance, with Angmar, and you can make peace with them. The Orc factions are very prone to getting a ceasefire earlier on. So there are enemies nearby. You have great bodyguards. I forgot to mention that. So you have 3 units of bodyguards that start with you, which are the Noldorin Guard. I mean, missile attack 13 with 235 meters and exceptional accuracy. These guys, I've seen them in action. They just rip anything. And if they are attacked, they're as good as Smiths of a region. I mean, they're really cool. They just don't have the anti-armor stuff. But these guys won't die. Trust me. Not in the beginning. Not against orcs. Not against orcs. You know, you can have them against everything. And Elrond is also one of them, and this guy is also one of them. So you have 3 of them. If you combine these 3 forces, these 3 arches, you pretty much just need a couple of other units to take any place here. You know, Zakala was going to fall very easily, and it was full of goblins. So what we have then in return, I mean, you do have the Dunedain outpost. I'm going to show you that, but you know, it only provides the Dunedain wardens and the Dunedain cavalry. I mean, the good thing about these guys is the upkeep. You know, I would much rather have Dunedain wardens and have my own Elven units. So be sure of recruiting these guys as soon as possible. I mean, this also allows a recruitment slot and number of free upkeep units, so it's good. But let's see then by the way, you only start with 1 city. It's only Imladris, so you gotta get away from that as fast as you can. So let's check out what we'll have. We're gonna have the Noretino units, which are really cool. You know, they're kind of like a medium, an in-between unit between the Eldorino units, which is really useful because, you know, these guys are very expensive. And these guys are no short of it. I mean, they have really good, they're good elite units already. 821 compared to 1230. I mean, it's of course these guys are upgraded, but you know, does it matter in terms of upkeep? These guys are much cheaper. I mean, these guys almost cost in recruitment what these guys cost in recruiting and then the upkeep of the next turn. So bear that in mind as well. Now let's see the barracks units. Of course, in terms of barracks, you do have the Sword Quenny, the basic stuff. You know, 916, these guys are really powerful already. But I would always get the Dunedain Wardens, as I've told you. Because, you know, 917, they're actually better, and they don't have that less of upkeep. And they're still good as skilled against mounts. So if you can have more Dunedain Wardens, do so. More than having the Sword Quenny. Now, they're also bigger in unit. So always get these Dunedain Wardens as much as you can. Then you have the Tulkas Faithful, which is kind of like the Linden Spears, but these guys don't have spears. They're effective against armor. They are not good against cavalry, but 14 effective against armor? That's crazy good. You're going to have a lot of good damage. They do have damage bonus against camels, wargs, and oliphants. Do mind that. This is something that's very interesting. They're very expensive, but they'll get you. It's worth their money. Then you have the Eldarini Spearmen, which you've already seen, and the Eldarini Swordsmen. I mean, basically these guys are endgame units, you know. Like having these guys and Tulkas Faithful, and you're pretty sure that you have a very powerful army. Or powerful front line. In terms of ranges, they have better units. So, the Bolquendi is actually missile attack 6, and they have 170 average accuracy. This is what I hate about these. I mean, if they had high, they should have high. You know, these are elves, even though they're low quality elves. Just for that upkeep. So these are very expensive units. I would rather have Noretino warriors the most. I mean, you have the stakes. They're very expensive, but 190 and high accuracy with a 9 missile attack. 2 of these guys are worth one of those Bolquendi for sure. I mean, and then you have the Eldarine archers, which are, you know, pretty short than better units. Of course, considering the upkeep, you might be thinking more on the Eldarine archers. That's up to you. I would always get some Noretino warriors, even though if they are actually adept at hiding and reliable in woods. You know, it's almost the same thing as these guys. Oh, they're actually, these guys also have. Never mind that then. But, you know, you want to be able to recruit Eldarine archers until later in the game, but you will have the Noretino warriors very soon. So go for these guys as well. Now, they're also pretty decent in melee and total defense, you know. You can pretty much use only archers throughout the game, and you'll still have a very good infantry there. Now, they have the smiths of a region, which we cannot see here, you know, but still. They have access to that and some other stuff. Let me just see if they have any further units. I believe they didn't. Oh, they have the Alderaanian nobles. These are cavalry units, by the way, so just be sure that you get them. They are very good. Hang on a second, guys. Just make sure that you get these guys. I mean, skilled against mounts 1241. They're about as good as your other cavalry units, and this will provide you a general. So it's kind of good that you can get these generals. It's kind of bad that you can't get any more of these ones. I mean, that's all that you start with. You start with 3 Noldorin guards, and you're not going to get anyone unless you're going to, you know, luckily get one of them, as in, you know, a new son or something like that, or an adoption or something, which is rare. But you start with 3 of them, and it's already really cool. They're really good generals. I mean, the initial faction leader is one of the best, pretty much one of the best, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have 3 decent ones. You also have this. No, this captain is because I divided. So you have this small general. It's cavalry unit at least. But these guys, they're really cool, and they should be your secondary generals. I mean, you're gonna have 3 armies not very soon, but you will always have those 3 guys to command them. So, economy. I'm sorry. Still, in terms of military, very high upkeep, very slow replenishment, specifically because compared to Linden, you only have 1 city in the beginning. So as soon as you conquer a city, you're going to have to think on whether you want finances or whether you want to start unit production, because it takes quite a while to even be able to recruit one of these units. I mean, the next one, the basic ones, are 17 turns. So if I don't recruit these guys, think of that. If I don't recruit these guys now, the timer of the next available unit doesn't start. So when I recruit one of these guys, it takes 3 turns, and then it takes 22 for the next one to be available. So, you know, I'm saying 22 because as soon as he's built, 3 turns have passed. So think about that. It's really slow recruitment, and you're going to have problems with that. No cavalry archers as well, some anti-armor, and you do have some mercenaries available to you. Not in the beginning, but you do have some mercenaries available to you nearby, which are good. The most important thing is these Dunedain Wardens. For an Elven faction to have access to an under 200 medium-high infantry is really cool. And these guys are pretty much the units that you want to have in the at the front, honestly. They will take care of everything. So in terms of finances, you do have the mines. Be careful about that. It requires conquests, and it may require no early rush in conquests. I mean, if you want to stay in Imladris for a couple of turns and build up a little bit of economy and build some important buildings, it's up to you. You can also try to rush just with these units for conquering Anon-Rod and Ostinedel. You can promote a ceasefire with the Orcs at the Mistin Mountains. It's up to you. You either decide to go all-out war or you go into peace. But if you go into peace, you will not have access to the mines. You only have the Imladris mines, unless you can really capture this village really fast. I mean, I can't show you. I can show you like this. Hang on a second. It's so important that I'm gonna use this. Usually I wouldn't. Yeah, because Dolbrin is completely empty, and it does have the gold mine. So consider that, of course. You know. Usually I wouldn't do this, but you know, I kind of want to show you that that village is really important. So I guess that is the take. You know, you can recruit a lot of agents, but it's a much different campaign from the Linden campaign, as in you're not going to have a lot of money. You do start with more units or more types of units, but it's not like you're going to be able to do anything pretty much against them. Let me just show you. In terms of Watchtower, let me just show you. Yeah, the DaC Kala doesn't have really a lot of stuff. I mean, the army that you have here can deal with that. So you can always consider conquering this one and making it a really choke point, because that will completely divide the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. They will still have one place here because these are two settlements together, and one will be for Khazad-dûm and the other one would be for the Orcs. Of course, Khazad-dûm may take it really fast, so just make sure that you check if they have taken it or not. Because if you take Zakala, then the Orcs are confined to the north, which is really cool for you. Right, that was it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed Imladris. There's already a campaign going on for Mr. Smart Donkey. Make sure that you check that out as well. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode. Bye-bye.